Hey guys! So today I'm here to talk to you about Freshers Week, which is kind of a continuation of last week's video, which was all about moving in. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it in the bottom bar below. But basically, Freshers Week is just fantastic. I think anybody who's attended university will probably remember Freshers Week as one of their favourite experiences, because for most courses it is basically like a week of nothingness with like nighttime events and daytime fairs and things like that, and it's just a great way to kind of ease yourself into university life. Maybe ease yourself isn't the right word. Okay, so what can you expect in Freshers Week? Well, a lot of you will have already had your welcome packs and things like that through your doors, which basically say you have like DJs, silent headphone discos are really popular. We had a hypnotist our first year, which I can say was absolutely hilarious. Like nights at the clubs, bar crawls, things like that. It varies from university to university, but Freshers Week is not to be missed. So if you are going to your first Freshers Week this year, I definitely recommend getting like a wristband or an entry ticket or whatever kind of thing your university does, just so you go and you experience it, your first taste of university. However, if you've heard of Freshers Week, you may also have heard of the dreaded Freshers Flu. Now, this is something that happens generally when you live in halls. If you live outside halls, you may be safe, but basically Freshers Flu, you've all come from different parts of the country and you've all got different germs, and then you basically go out for a week and run your body down, like barely eat because you can't cook because you're a fresher, sorry if you can, and yeah, it's just not a great thing to be doing to your body, and it's also a really good environment for you to catch bugs in. So that is how Freshers Flu kind of occurs, and here are a couple of tips on how to avoid it. First up, I know Freshers is really tempting to go out every night and, you know, drink a lot and things like that, but it's probably not too good for your insides, and it will also run you down, which makes you a lot more susceptible to catching Freshers Flu. So be very careful. If you are going to go out every evening, try and vary the activities you do, and try not to drink like excessive amounts, because I've seen a lot of people at the end of Freshers Week who are like, they're just zombies. They walk to their first lecture like, because they just can't. They just can't. Another great tip to avoiding Freshers Flu is to eat well. Now, for those of you who are semi-catered, you should be about fine, because I was semi-catered in my first year, and I think we got at least 3 lots of veg, which is doable, it's okay, and you know, then you can top the rest up with like fruit, juice and things like that throughout the day. So try and eat as much fruit and veg as you can. I know cooking will not be your priority, so if you are, you know, left to self-catering, definitely, if you can't cook or you just maybe can't be bothered, go and get yourself some mixed vegetables, some fruit juice and things like that, just so your body gets a constant supply of vitamins, which will also help to fight Freshers Flu. So if you do get it, you'll feel a lot better for it, rather than just eating fish and chips, which I know is actually really tempting. Having takeaway the whole of Freshers Week, it's just not very good for you. And finally, tip number 3 is if you do get Freshers Flu, please try and stay in your bedroom. Now this is a horrible thing, because I know when you're ill, especially when you're by yourself, or maybe you're by yourself for the first time, that you want somebody to sit there and cuddle you and make you tea and stuff, and that's lovely, but you've got to appreciate that your other flatmates just going into their first week of teaching, or maybe it's later on in the year and everybody's in teaching. You have to appreciate that they have, you know, lectures to go to and things like that, and they might not want to catch it either. So if you do get ill, or even if one of your flatmates gets ill, please try and quarantine them. It's a horrible thing. I remember my old headmaster saying this at exam time, and we were all like, that's really mean. But it just means that whatever kind of illness they have won't spread as quickly, not as many people will come down with it, and hopefully it will leave the building fairly sharpish, as opposed to infecting like the whole 20 people in halls, because that would just not be a fun environment to live in. Also, if you come down with Freshers Flu, please try and like eat again. Eating well will help it. Just kind of resting and staying in bed, which I know is such a chore, and drinking plenty of water and things like that so you don't become dehydrated. But Freshers Flu generally manifests itself slightly differently depending what university you go to and who you're around with. So it could be a completely different Freshers Flu, but my one for me, I felt horrendous. I remember waking up one morning in the first week of teaching, staggering from my bed to my chair, which was only like a couple of meters, but the room was spinning. I ended up on the floor, I was like 1,000 degrees, and I had to go onto my laptop and try and find the staff emails and be like, I'm not coming in today, which I'm sure it didn't actually come out like. I'm sure it was just a garbled typing, and they kind of just went, she must be a fresher. So what is the average fresher experience besides, you know, getting ill? Well, as I've said, it's a fantastic week for nighttime events, but it's also great for daytime events too. Most universities will have things like poster sales, which are fantastic because, yeah, those rooms are looking a little bit bare and it's always cool to jazz it up, and I've never seen so many posters in my life, so there's literally something for everyone, and they usually have a little bit of a sale too. So if you didn't take many things or you're finding your rooms looking a bit bare, definitely head over to one of those. They also have events in Freshers Week such as like local business fairs, societies fairs, sports team fairs, which are just a fantastic way of getting to know the social life both inside and outside of the university. You also end up with an absolute ton of stuff from these kind of events. I think I picked up pretty much every single pen that I've ever used from university from either an open day or at like a fair event. I think I even picked up a free meal during my Freshers Week at Nando's, and I think they have free Domino's pizza as well. So even just for the free food, it's definitely worth going, because a lot of times during Freshers Week, student loans haven't come through, which is another thing I would like to talk about. So, student loans. Now, most universities will require you to register, and they usually do this during Freshers Week or sometimes even in the first week of teaching, which means that you don't have any money during Freshers Week. So it's really important, if you are going into your first Freshers Week or even in your second and third, try and save those pennies just so you've got a little bit of spending money and, you know, something to live off, because you cannot just live off like pasta, although people have tried. So although you do get your student loan in the following week, please try and save a little bit of money just in case for a rainy day. You might be the case that you need to buy a textbook, or you need a little bit of money to, I don't know, go grocery shopping or something just before your student loan comes in. So try not to blow all of your funds during the first week of university, because otherwise you may be a little bit hungry later on in the semester. So that is it for my Freshers Week guide. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I'll leave links to the Studentpad blog and the Studentpad YouTube channel for similar videos relating to university and starting university and things like that. And for all of you freshers out there, please enjoy your first week at university and just try to remain standing at the end of it. I'll speak to you guys next week. Bye.